inverse cosine of root 2 over 2. So first thing I always do is, let's just rewrite this. Cosine of theta equals a root 2 over 2. So now we're looking for some angle where we get the cosine value of a root 2 over 2. So let's make sure we're keeping in mind, where is this angle? Where could it possibly be coming from? So for cosine, we're coming from one of the first two quadrants right there. So now let's think about if this is coming from a special right triangle. Now the root 2 over the 2, I look at these special right triangles and I see, well, here's a root 2 and here's a 2. So which one of these do we think might work out? So for cosine, cosine is the ca, so adjacent over hypotenuse. Let's just take a look for a second at the 30, 60, 90. If we're going to look at 30, so cosine of 30, adjacent is going to be root 3 over hypotenuse, which is 2. Well, that's not a root 2 over 2, so I know it's not 30. Let's look at the cosine of 60 right here. Adjacent is 1 over the hypotenuse of 2. Well, that's not root 2 over 2, so I know it's not the 60 degrees. So I just disregarded the entire 30, 60, 90 triangle. Now let's go ahead and try the 45, 45 triangle. So cosine of 45 equals adjacent side 1 over hypotenuse root 2. So at first glance it doesn't look the same, but what we would want to remember, is that we have this root 2 in the denominator, which means we have to rationalize this. So after we rationalize, look at that, we actually do end up with a root 2 over 2. So we are working with a 45-degree angle. So I come over here to the picture, and I'm going to go ahead and draw a 45-degree angle into this first quadrant, and just let's see if this works out. 45 is going to be at the origin, where this side length is 1, 1, root 2, and those are positive 1s and a positive root 2. So if we were to do cosine of this 45-degree angle, we would do our adjacent side over hypotenuse. Of course, we would have to rationalize, and we end up with root 2 over 2. And that is exactly what we're looking for. So this is our angle right here. This is the angle that will give us that trig value. So theta is 45 degrees. And then 45 degrees in radians, we can ask ourselves, how many 45-degree angles fit into 180, which is the same thing as pi, and I know there are 4 of those, so our radian measure is going to be pi over 4.